Chapter 6 Dancing with Dinosaurs. There's a loud splash, and we look out to find ourselves floating in the middle of a vast gray ocean. We paddle as fast as we can, but when we get to shore, all we can see is a bunch of little monkey-like animals playing in a group. Ah, says the inspector, they look like Plesiadapis. Tricuspidans. Are they dinosaurs? Says Terry. No, says the inspector. They are some of the earliest mammals to live on Earth. They're so cute, says Terry. We should take one back for Jill. That's not a good idea, says the inspector. They need to stay here so they can evolve into insist of apes, monkey, and human. Monkeys, says Terry. I hate monkeys. Me too, I said. But doesn't mean we don't share a common ancestor with them. Look, speak for yourself, says Terry. I don't. I wouldn't be sure about that, Terry, I said, because that one looks a little bit like you. You're right, says Terry, and that one looks a lot like you. Suddenly we hear thunder's stomping and snorting noise. The Plesiadapis stop playing and look around in alarm. The dinosaurs with the enormous nose burst through the undergrowth and snorted at them. Eek, I said. That dinosaur has the biggest nose I've ever seen. It's a big nosaurus, says the inspector. A dinosaur that is in direct contravention of the World Health Organization suggests guideline for healthy nose to body ratio. It's famous for its bad temper. The safest way to behave around one is to be very quiet and try not to be noticed. It reminds me of snowman, so says Terry, but I can't think who. This is bad, says the inspector. If the dinosaurs are still around, that means the asteroid that wipes them out hasn't hit yet. Cool, I said. We might get to see an asteroid. If you do, it will probably be the last thing you ever see, says the inspector. Asteroids are very dangerous, even more dangerous than big nosaurus. Hey, yelled Terry, as the big nosaurus advanced on the Plesiadapis. Get away from them, you big bully. At the sound of Terry's voice, the big nosaurus turned toward us. It stares and roars. Good one, Terry, I say, backing away. Yeah, good one, Terry, says the inspector. The big nosaurus roars again and paws the ground. It looks just like Kevin the mechanical bull when he gets mad, says Terry. I think it's getting ready to charge. If only we had a brightly colored cape, I said. Maybe we could distract it. A brightly colored safety vest might work, says Terry. Don't be stupid, I say. Where are we going to get a brightly colored safety vest from? from the inspector, says Terry. Well, I'm not sure about that, says the inspector. Regulation 6 of the Brightly Colored Safety Vest Act states that a building permit inspector should wear a brightly colored safety vest at all times. But it's 65 million years before that law was even invented. I said, so technically you won't be breaking it. Says the inspector. Technically you might be right, and I guess you will be using it in the interest of safety. He handed me the vest. I hold the vest out of the side, matador style, and wave it at the big dinosaurs. It snorted in rage, lowering its massive nose and charging at me. I spin at the last moment, and it rushes past. Ole, I said. It turned and charged again. Once more I stepped aside. Ole, ole, I said. Each time it runs at me and misses, it getting madder, and its noise gets bigger and redder. Watch out, says Terry. I think it's going to blow. What's that? I said. It's going to blow. It's noise. It's nose. No, says Terry. Its nose is going to explode. Why? An explosion that big could wipe out all life on Earth, says the inspector. Could it be possible that this is how the dinosaur disappeared? Who cares? I said. It's going to be how we disappear if you don't take cover. The Plesiosauropus that looks like Terry starting biting the leg of this trousers. Hey, say Terry, quit that. Then the one who looked like me started tugging at my trouser. Treasure. What's wrong with you, speed thing? I said. Can you see we've got a serious problem here? I think they are trying to help us, says the inspector, who has one tugging at his treasures as well. They are pulling us in the direction of that burrow. He's right, says Terry, and we don't have a moment to lose. I've never seen a nose so ready to blow. We quickly follow the Plesiosauropus to their burrow. Terry stopped and bends over. What are you doing? I said. I'm just saving a poor little helpless ant. He says. Well, hurry up, I said. Terry scooped up the ant and put it in his pocket. The entrance to the burrow is small, but with a bit of pushing and shoving, we all managed to get safely inside. Cool burrow, says Terry, and very safe, says the inspector. You can't beat a good underground bunker, and I see we have food supplies for some time. What sort of food? Says Terry. Looks like dragonflies. Fun and a primitive form of the marshmallow. Prehistoric marshmallows, says Terry, shoving a handful into his mouth and then immediately spitting them out. That's not marshmallow, that's fungus. What do you think marshmallows are made of? Says the inspector. But before Terry can register the full horror of what the inspector has just said, There's a huge explosion above us. Boom. We are emerging from the burrow. There's an enormous smoking crater where the big dinosaurs had been. Everything is covered in thick green goo, and there are piles of dead dinosaurs everywhere. I said, let's get out here. But what about the Plesiadapis, says Terry. They saved our life, and we saved theirs, I said. Fair trade. But the prehistory world is so dangerous, says Terry. Can we take them with us? No, I already explained that, says the inspector. If we took them with us, they wouldn't evolve and we wouldn't be able to exist. But just to be on the safe side, and if it makes you feel better, I will give them all a bit of extra protection. The inspector gets out his roll of the bubble wrap and makes little bubble wrap shoot for all the Plesiadapis. There, he says when he is finished, that should keep them out of trouble for the next 65 million years or so. I've made a few adjustments to the chronometer, says Terry, and I'm certain that this time we will arrive at the building permit office 6.5 years before we build our treehouse. I hope you are right, says the inspector, as we climbed into the bin and closed the lid. Me too, I said. I think we've had enough history for one day. Okay, said Terry. Here we go. Swab.